Ohio State favored by 3 scores on the road at Illinois. 16.5 is the number. Big noon kickoff. Ohio State going to Champaign, Illinois. Ohio State now, you're rounding the corner. You're rounding that corner. The first part of your year, to me, is essentially in the books. This is now phase 2. The Washington game, glad you found a way to get a win on the road in a weird environment, tough environment. Texas game, glad you found a way to start the year with a win. I think Ohio State, you're no longer in the find-a-way phase of Julian Sain's maturation. It is now, okay, Julian, run the offense. Maximize Jeremiah Smith. Maximize having Carnell Tate out there on the perimeter for you. That's the phase now that Ohio State's entering into. Can you do that against Illinois? Remains to be seen. For Illinois, man, if you get a win over Ohio State, think about the way that resets the optics for Illinois football. Because right now we talk about Illinois, and they just got this black eye of, well, Indiana took them to the woodshed and embarrassed them. What is Illinois? What is Illinois? You beat USC, defense still leaving something to be desired in that game. But if you beat Ohio State, all the buzz around you being a trendy playoff pick, all the buzz around them being this year's Indiana, even though that label's not aging so well from the Indiana game, that's back on. All right, the party is all the way back if you can find a way to beat Ohio State. Now, Ohio State, I think this is the first time we see the offense with the more filled out menu. Maybe not all the way full, maybe not no leash for Julian Sain, but a lot more leash than we've seen to this point in the year. It is not a coincidence that we saw Ohio State open it up for Julian Sain against Minnesota. It's not. Because I promise you, they understand what this game is. They knew they were going to Illinois this following weekend. So they said, okay, if we're going to Illinois, we don't want to go there and say, okay, now no training wheels for Julian Sain. Now we're letting you cook. They let him cook. Now, does that carry over from that game to this game? It has to. The bag has got to be deep for Ohio State the rest of the way. And in this game, it's got to be deep against Illinois. Because Illinois, I don't want to say they're desperate, because I don't think desperate's the word I would use, but I do think they're a little bit on edge from the Indiana game, from the USC win. The boats have been burned for Illinois. Now, with the spread being what it is, I think you do have to burn the boats on the defensive side of the football, man. If you're going to beat Ohio State and do enough on the defensive side to beat Ohio State, two things, or one of two things rather, have got to happen. One, you got to roll out there with the blender game plan on the defensive side and get Julian Sain all confused, and he's wishing he had the training wheels, and you get a turnover or two. Like, the gutter ball game from Julian Sain would have to be in effect here for Illinois to win the football game. The other thing that could happen, would be nice to happen, find a way to bring pressure. And maybe these are one and the same. Illinois hasn't been great bringing pressure all year long, but I don't think you can sit back there and play your vanilla style of game plan. Vanilla is the wrong phrase. It's not a vanilla defense. But I don't think you can sit there and play the same brand of football you've played at this point in the year and be effective against this Ohio State team and win this football game, quite frankly. It's going to take something extra, something new. The numbers aren't great for Illinois defensively to this point in the year. You got to do something else. Otherwise, you're going to get gashed by the talent of Ohio State. Now, with it being 16.5, I think if I'm Illinois, I'd like to find a way to slow this game down. I'd like to find a way to keep the ball out of Julian Sain's hands. It takes what it takes, man. It takes what it takes. And what I think it takes in this game is extending drives and getting third down conversions. If I'm Ohio State, understand everything is on the table for this game for Illinois. The game plan is as exotic as it's ever going to be for them in this spot. Now, they ran for a $171 against USC. I'd like more of that, please, Illinois. I'd like more of that north-south run game. All right? It doesn't have to be a $171, but if you can just get like 4 yards a carry, ideally, and set up livable second and third downs, and you take a little bit of a slower approach to your offensive style, guess what? Less possession for Julian Sain. Less chance for Jeremiah Smith to hurt you. Luke Altmaier needs to be the reason for you why this game doesn't make sense. Like, we look at the box score and say, well, Ohio State outrushed Illinois. Well, Julian Sain had a good day at the office. Yeah, but Luke Altmaier was timely. Luke Altmaier was timely. He made enough plays with his feet, made enough throws at the right time against this Ohio State defense. That would be the way this game would lean towards Illinois, with it being 16.5, favoring the Buckeyes. Now, the key to this game, though, the way this whole thing becomes a moot point, is if Ohio State defensively just holds serve. Like, defensively for Ohio State, the only way you get beat in this game is, one, you don't show up and match the physicality of Illinois, because I promise you, Brett Bielema as the head coach, they will be physical. They will give you their best shot. Also, you got the Ohio State logo on your uniform, so there's going to be a little bit of extra edge to them anytime you play that logo. Second part, you can't fall asleep at the wheel. Illinois brought out the Philly special against USC. What are they going to do against Ohio State with Big Noon there? I digress. This game's about Ohio State's composure. And if Ohio State had a composure problem, I think we would have seen it against Washington. I think we would have seen them go to that place and see Julian Sayin look a little bit flustered. Would have seen them maybe look a little bit flustered against Texas in game one. I trust the DNA right now of where Ohio State's at. And so all that, paired with how well the defense has played, paired with what I've seen from that Illinois defense, quite frankly, and I think Julian Sayin's licking his chops and saying, yeah, open the playbook up for me this weekend. Let me do my thing and throw to Jeremiah Smith everywhere and throw to Carnell Tate everywhere. Just that number is very big, but the more I look at it, I think Ohio State wins. I think Ohio State covers. I think if Ohio State wasn't going to be a wagon this year and get exposed, it would have happened at some point in time leading into this game. So give me the Buckeyes to win and cover in Champaign, and they stay unbeaten and maybe make a case to be the number one team in the college football playoff when those rankings come out in November. Still more to be talked about there, but just a little seed to be planted as it pertains to where the Buckeyes are right now.